not use the elevator after midnight. That's the first thing they told me when I moved in. Not welcome to the building. Not let me know if you need anything. Just that. Don't ride the elevator after 12. I laughed at the time. I thought it was one of those weird building superstitions. Every place has one. Bad wiring, old system. Maybe it gets stuck sometimes. Nothing more. I wish that's all it was. It started 3 nights ago. I got home late. Work ran longer than expected, and by the time I stepped into the lobby, it was already 12:47 a.m. The building was quiet. Too quiet. No TV sounds, no footsteps upstairs, not even the usual hum of the vending machine in the corner. Just silence. And the elevator. Waiting. I remember hesitating. Just for a second. Because I thought about what the old man from 3B had said. He stopped me on my first day here. Didn't smile, didn't introduce himself. Just looked straight at me and said, "If it's past midnight, take the stairs." I asked him why. He didn't answer, just walked away. I should have listened. The elevator doors opened with a soft ding. Normal. Everything looked normal. The inside was clean. The mirror slightly scratched. The dim yellow light flickering just a little. Nothing unusual. I stepped in, pressed my floor. The doors closed. For the first few seconds, everything was fine. The elevator started moving. Slow, steady. Then it stopped. Too soon. I frowned. That wasn't my floor. The display flickered. For a split second, it showed 0, then changed -1. My stomach dropped. There is no floor -1 in this building. The doors opened, slowly, and behind them was a hallway. At first glance, it looked normal. Same layout, same walls, same cheap carpet. But something felt off. The lights were dimmer, too dim, and the hallway seemed longer than it should be, stretching further than I remembered. I didn't step out. I just stood there, staring, listening. Nothing. No sound. No movement. No people. Then, something shifted. Far down the hallway, just for a second, like a shadow moving against the wall. I pressed the close door button. Nothing happened. I pressed it again, harder. Still nothing. The doors stayed open, like the elevator was waiting for me to get out. "I'm not going out there," I whispered. My voice sounded wrong, too loud in the silence. The lights inside the elevator flickered, once, twice. Then, the doors slammed shut. The elevator moved again. This time, down, faster. The display changed rapidly, -1, -2, -3. My heart started racing. "There is no -2. There is no -3. I kept repeating it, like saying it would make it true. Then, the lights went out. Complete darkness. For a moment, I couldn't even breathe. And then, I heard it. Not the elevator, not the cables, not the machinery. Something else. A soft sound, right behind me, like someone had just stepped into the elevator. I slowly turned my head. Barely. Too afraid to look fully. Because deep down, I already knew. I wasn't alone anymore. I didn't turn around right away. I couldn't. My body just locked. Every instinct in me screamed the same thing. Don't look. If you look, it will be there. The elevator was still moving, down, faster now, too fast. I could feel it behind me, not touching, not yet, but close, very close. The air changed. It felt colder, heavier, like the space inside the elevator had somehow gotten smaller. I tried to breathe, slow, quiet, Like if I stayed still enough, it might not notice me. The display flickered again. -4, -5. There is no -5. My voice cracked. I barely recognized it. Then, the elevator jerked. Hard. It stopped. The lights came back on. Dim. Flickering. And the doors opened. Another hallway. But this one was worse. The walls were wrong. Not broken, not damaged. Just wrong. Like they were slightly bent inward, as if the space itself was folding. The lights buzzed overhead, faint, unstable, and the doors to the apartments were open. All of them. I felt my stomach drop. Inside each apartment, darkness, but not empty. I couldn't see clearly, but I knew. Something was inside, watching, waiting. I took a small step back, still inside the elevator. And that's when I heard it again, behind me, closer this time. A shift, a movement, like something adjusting its position. Slowly, I turned my head, just enough to see the mirror. And in the reflection, I saw it, not fully, never fully, just a shape, too tall, its head almost touching the ceiling, its arms too long, bent at angles that made no sense, and its face. There wasn't one, just darkness, but it was looking at me. I froze. The thing didn't move. For a moment, neither of us did. Then, its head twitched, a sudden, sharp movement, like it had just learned how to react. My breath hitched, and that was enough. The thing reacted instantly. Its arm moved fast, too fast. It didn't touch me. It stopped, just inches from my shoulder. I felt it. The air shift, cold, wrong. Then, the elevator doors slammed shut. The hallway disappeared, and we were alone again, inside the elevator, together. The lights flickered wildly now. The display went dark. No numbers, no floors, nothing. Then, every button on the panel lit up. At once. 765432110, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. All of them pressed. My heart started pounding. It's choosing, I whispered. The thing behind me shifted again, closer. Then a sound, not from the elevator, from it. A voice, distorted, broken, like something trying to copy human speech. Don't. My blood ran cold. Ride. The voice glitched, twisted. Alone. I stopped breathing. It wasn't warning me. It was repeating it, learning it, using it. The elevator dropped, suddenly, violently, like the cables had snapped. I screamed, and everything went black. I don't remember hitting the floor. 1 second, I was falling. The next, everything stopped. Silence, no movement, no sound. I opened my eyes slowly. The elevator was still. The lights were on again. Dim, unstable. For a moment, I thought it was over. That maybe, whatever was happening, had stopped. Then I noticed something. The display. It wasn't showing a number. Just one word. Open. My chest tightened. The doors in front of me slowly slid apart. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. Because I already knew this wasn't my floor. The hallway outside was different. Not like before. This time, it looked almost normal. Too normal. Clean walls, bright lights, no flickering, no distortion. And at the end of the hallway, I saw something that made my heart jump. An exit sign, glowing green. A way out. For a second, hope hit me. Hard. I didn't think. I just ran. Out of the elevator. My footsteps echoed down the hallway. Loud. Too loud. I didn't look back. I couldn't. I just kept moving toward the exit. The door was right there. I grabbed the handle and pulled. It opened. Cold air hit my face. Outside, I stumbled out, breathing hard. I made it. I actually made it out. I turned around, just for a second, to look back at the building. And that's when I saw it. There was no building. My stomach dropped. Behind me wasn't the lobby, wasn't the elevator, wasn't anything I recognized. Just a long, empty corridor, endless. The exit door was gone, replaced by a wall. No! I turned back, running in the opposite direction. The hallway stretched, longer, further, like it didn't want me to reach the end. And then I heard it, behind me, the elevator. Ding. I froze, slowly. I turned my head. At the far end of the hallway, the elevator doors were open, and inside, darkness, deep, wrong. Something moved inside, and then it stepped out, not fully, just enough. That same shape, too tall, too thin, but now closer, much closer. It didn't rush, it didn't need to. Because no matter how far I ran, it was getting closer. I backed away slowly. No, stay back. The thing tilted its head, like it was listening, learning. Then, it spoke again, clearer this time. You left. My chest tightened. But you didn't leave. The walls around me shifted, subtle, but real. The hallway wasn't straight anymore. It was bending, closing in. The thing took a step forward. The sound, wet, heavy. I turned and ran again, faster, desperate. My lungs burned. And then I saw it, a door, different from the others. Old, metal, half open. I didn't think. I ran to it and pulled it open. Inside, stairs. Real stairs. Not distorted, not wrong, normal. I rushed in and slammed the door behind me. Silence. I stood there, breathing hard. It didn't follow, not immediately. I looked up. The stairs went up and down, both directions disappearing into darkness. And then I noticed something carved into the wall, scratched, deep, words. It doesn't follow you. Below it, another line. It waits. My blood ran cold, because behind me, the door handle slowly started to turn. The handle stopped moving, just like that. Silence. I didn't move, didn't breathe, didn't even blink, because I was waiting for it to force the door open, for it to come through, for it to end. But nothing happened. Slowly, very slowly, I stepped back. The stairwell felt normal. Concrete walls, metal railings, dim, steady lights. No flickering, no distortion, just a staircase. I let out a shaky breath. "It's gone," I whispered. I don't know why I said it. Maybe I needed to hear it. Maybe I needed to believe it. I started moving, up, one step at a time. The sound of my footsteps echoed softly, too softly, like the space around me was swallowing the sound. I kept going. 1 floor, 2, 3. No doors opened, no sounds, no signs of anyone else. Just me, and the stairs. Then, I saw a door, marked 7, my floor. My chest tightened. This is it. I walked toward it slowly, reached out and pushed it open. My apartment hallway, exactly how it should be. Same lights, same walls, same smell, normal, too normal. I stepped out, turned back, just to look one last time. The stairwell door was still there, closed, silent. I waited. Nothing happened. I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding, and walked to my apartment, unlocked the door, stepped inside, closed it behind me. Silence. Safe. I leaned against the door. "It's over," I said. And for a moment, I believed it. Then, something felt wrong. Subtle, small, but wrong. I walked into the living room. Everything was in place, exactly how I left it. Too perfect. I turned toward the hallway mirror and froze. Because for a second, just a second, my reflection moved before I did. My heart stopped. No. I stepped closer, slowly, carefully, watching. The reflection matched me again, perfectly, like nothing happened. I exhaled. Nerves? I shook my head, turned away, walked toward my bedroom. And that's when I heard it from behind me. A soft sound. Ding. My blood ran cold. I turned slowly. The hallway behind me was darker, the mirror gone. And at the end of the hallway, elevator doors, open, impossible. They were inside my apartment, and inside, darkness. That same darkness, deep, endless. Something moved closer, and then the voice, clear, right behind me. Don't ride alone. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe, because I understood. Too late. It didn't follow me. It didn't need to. It was already here. The lights flickered once, twice. Then, everything went black.